All right, everybody. A few minutes away from getting the game started here. Welcome to game 2, everyone. This one is going to be a coaches controlled scrimmage, no referees. So we got Chris Preston from Proctor. He's a B2 coach this year, helping out. Teams are huddling up. Looks like we're probably going to run 2 25-minute periods.
All right, hockey fans, welcome to today's game. So let somebody know if you can hear me, okay? All right, we're ready to get underway. So we have 7 lineups. Looks like we have Boris at left wing.
Ruck's on the draw there, wins it over to Garrett, pushes that one to the far side of the wall. Tony tracking it down there. Hermantown into the zone, down into the slot. Shot, saved, and smothered by Jace. Defensive zone draw, won by the Hawks. Back to the point. That shot, tipped wide. Hawks have possession. Jace will smother that before he can get on net. Another defensive zone draw for the Rails here.
Line change. Looks like now we have Blake Benny at center. Blake Reitzman at left. MJ at right. Alan Wallach at right.
Draw one back by the Hawks, saved by Jace.
On for the net. Blake has it behind the net.
Around behind. Tony chips it out. Garrett walks into this one. He's into the zone. Garrett with a shot. That gets tipped wide of the net. Max unable to get it at the point in time. Miles off the half wall, icing the indication. That'll be the call in a defensive zone draw here for the Rails on that icing. Got running time today. 23 and a half left in this first half period. Whatever we're going to call that. Hawks win the draw. Back to the point. Shot, tipped, ends up wide of the net. Around behind. Out front. That goes through everybody. Squirts loose. Hawks have it. Intercepted by Matt. He can't quite corral. Does get back on it. Oh, he collides with Gray. Hawks are back into the zone. Taken away by Griff on the half wall. Chips out of the zone. D to D at their own blue line. The Hawks in no circle. Maintaining possession there. Up into the zone. Number 12 has it. Shot. That's deflected by Matt. Up into the netting. We'll get a whistle and another defensive zone draw for the Rails here with 22 and a half remaining. Looks like we're going to have a line change as well for the Rails. Draw one by the Hawks. Back to the point. That splits both defensemen. Circling at their own blue line. Pass intercepted by Will and dumped down in. Garrett giving pressure here. Cuts off the player behind the net. Pass up to the point. Held in by temporarily by Miles Erickson. Will has his pocket picked. Jace chips that one to the corner. Hawks maintain possession. Rink wide pass just doesn't connect. In behind. Chipped up the wall. Rock's unable to get it out. Battling for it at the point. The Hawks will chip it back down in. Hawks walk away with it there. Centers. Comes back to the point. Possession lost. Garrett putting pressure on there. Will up to Ruxin. They're into the zone onside. Garrett puts this one down into the corner as he's bumped off. Hawks come back out of their zone. 1-on-5. Hawks poke check before they get in the zone. Taken away again. Gray's got a step. Poke checked away before he can get the shot off, though. Maintains possession along the half wall. Battling for it there still. Poked back into the corner by Brecken. Max holds the point. He tries to go D to D, but that's intercepted. Miles Erickson covering up back. Poke checks. Hawks now have it in the zone. Centering attempt misses. Top of the slot. Shot. Save. Puck's loose. Rails get it out of the zone. Gray gets checked there. No indication. Hawks bring it back into the zone. Whistle for offsides. We'll get a line change for the Rails. And a neutral zone draw just outside the Rails end.
Looks like we have Blake Benny at center, Alyssa left, Reeves at right, Julia right D, and Maria.
Rucks on the draw there. It's one back by the Hawks. Jumped in, hits Garrett before it can get into the zone, down into the slot. Puck heads up on the half wall. They still have possession. Around the left-hand circle. Matt puts a possession pressure on there. Centering shot all the way through. No connection there. Garrett picks this one up and he's out of the zone. Chipped ahead. Hawks will circle. D to D. Chipped ahead. Hawks are into the zone again. Toe drags around. He's bottom of the circle. Centers, misses its mark. Declan picks this one up. Sidesteps the defenseman, and they're 3 wide as they go through the neutral zone. Declan has possession on the near wall. Puck down into the corner where Tony will pick it up. He takes a look. Centers. Garrett unable to find it. Declan with a shot. That's a save. Hermantown goaltender hangs on to that one. We'll get an offensive zone draw here. Brecken on the draw. He's got Will and Gray on his wings. Miles and Max are the defensemen. Miles to off the sidewall. Gray with it at the circle. Shoots. That's blocked. Puck down into the corner. Will takes it away at the half wall. Hawks player will skate into that. Through the neutral zone efficiently. Down into the slot. Backhand shot. Kick save by Jace. Hawks have possession down in the corner. Another shot attempt there. Gets knocked away by Max. Max puts this one up to the point. Held in. Sent back down to the circle. Cleared by Miles Erickson. Will able to clear the zone. The Hawks have possession. That comes back in offsides. We get a whistle with 17:52 left in the first period here, and a neutral zone draw just outside the Rails end. Draw one back. Will had it. Gets it up ahead to Brecken. Brecken fights for it there. Chips it past the defense. Covering up was Hawks defender. Offside, onsides is the play. Max will step up on this puck on the far side. Tries to put this into the middle. It's taken away. Rails caught in a line change here, but they do get back just in time. Miles battling for it just inside the blue line. Chips it ahead. That gets out of the zone. Miles still putting the pressure on. Dumped off the wall to another Hawks player, and they're going to come back the other way. Into the zone. Shot from the circle. That was wide. Tony battling for it on the wall. They go D to D. Steps into the circle. A shot. Glove saved and held onto by Jace Erickson. You good? All right, I'm going to hand off scorekeeping to Mr. Holter. Draw one back to Matt. He reverses, back up the far wall, held in at the point, sent down to the circle. Inside the circle, poke checked away by Matt, gets across the blue line. Tony wasn't able to get to it first. Matt battling for it just outside the blue line. Garrett gets this one ahead to Tony. Now Garrett has it back. He'll step into the zone. That shot gets pushed wide of the net. Tony will be the first one on it on the far half wall, battling with two Hawks players. This comes around near side. Hawks will pick this one up. Unable to get it out of the zone though. Rucks over skated on the play from Garrett, and the Hawks are back out. Chipped into the zone. Let's go all the way to the far side corner. Matt chips it up the wall, hits Tony. Tony ain't able to clear though. Hawks have it back on the half wall. Chipped out of the zone. Matt jumps up, tries to get on it. He does have possession. Shot from the top of the circle, gloved and held onto. We'll get a whistle. 15:23 remains in this first period here, and the Hawks will get an offensive, or the Rails will get an offensive zone draw. Hawks win this one back into the corner. We're on behind. Gray steps up, unable to take the puck away though, and the Hawks are 3 wide as they cross neutral ice. Down into the far side circle. Miles picks his pocket there in the far wall, kicks it to himself, and he exits the zone. Comes ahead, tries to go rink wide to Brecken. That doesn't quite connect. Battling for it here is Gray. He's able to get it into the zone. Icing waved off. Hawks are forced to play it. They'll rim it around. Picked up at the blue line. Poke check before he can get in. Puck sent back the other way by Max. Dumped into the Hawks zone where Miles will turn in the slot. Sidesteps one. Sends it ahead. Deflected but gets out. Declan chips it ahead but loses control. Miles now picks it up. He's tripped as he comes across the neutral zone. The tripping call is made. And the Rails will have a power play here. It'll be interesting to see how they count this one. Draw one back by the Rails. Griff has it. Defender falls in front. Shot goes wide. Matt steps up into the corner. Centers again. That goes in. Off the goaltender. That's a goal from behind the net for Matt. And the Hawks are and the Rails are on the board first. It went off the goaltender and in from behind the net. All right, well, the Rails have a 1-0 lead here. Draw one back by Ruxin. D to D, Matt to Griff. Griff sends it ahead. It's rejected. Griff has it again in the top of the circle. He'll dump this one out. That's too far for everyone. Icing the indication. And that'll be the call. So on the icing call, we'll get a line change for the Rails and a defensive zone draw to Jace Erickson's right. 12:34 and counting in the period. Draw one by Brecken, back to Miles Erickson. He's battling for it along the half wall there. Gray able to chip it up and out. Here's the puck taken away by Brecken. Brecken steps up and takes that. Massive humanity there, and the Hawks take it away. Lead pass, gets him into the zone. Tries to turn the corner, centers. That misses everybody. Gray will pick this one up and just chip it out. Brecken gets into that one. He's into the zone. He tries to center. Doesn't quite connect with Tony. Sent ahead. Too far for everybody, icing the indication, and the Rails will once again get an offensive zone draw. 11:42 and counting left in the period. Draw one back by the Hawks. Declan gets pressure on behind. Garrett will step up into the corner. Puck sent up the half wall. Griff holds it in. That's tipped off of Garrett back into the corner. Garrett picks this one up, sends it out front, waves at it, misses, and the Hawks will start back out. 3-on-1 as they come across. Centering pass doesn't connect. Just behind the forechecking Hawks player. Griffin able to take this one away. He's still playing with it there on the half wall. Held in. Sent back down into the circle. Not able to force this one in behind. He chips this one around. Griff picks that up on the half wall. Sends it ahead. Too far for Ruxin. The Hawks will take this one back into their own end. As they circle, the headman attempt gets intercepted. And Garrett just unable to capitalize on that one. It rolled off the end of his stick. Icing the indication from the Hawks here. 10:30 and counting left in the first period. That was a nifty little passing play. Rock's able to backhand that one over to Garrett. Tons of daylight, just couldn't pull the trigger. Offensive zone draw will be taken by Brecken. He's got Will and Gray on his wings. Miles and Max at the points. Hawks win this draw. Tries to send it ahead. Puck's sent out by the Hawks. Picked up by Miles. He gives that one away. It's taken back by the Hawks. They're into the zone 1-on-1. They got a guy in the slot. Puck shot saved by Jace on a point-blank shot from the low hash marks. He's able to push off the post and take that one off the low pads and cover it. We'll get a defensive zone draw for the Rails here. Brecken tries to move this one over to the wall. Hawks have it. Drop pass in the corner, sent back to the point. They'll step up down into the circle. Shot, stick saved by Jace. Dumped back down into the corner. Miles Erickson, the first one on it there. Puck gets loose. Puck bouncing it around the slot. Gray will take this one away. It's held in by the Hawks. They skate back down to the right-hand circle. Shot goes wide. Picked up on the half wall by the Hawks, sent back into the corner. They overskate there. Miles has it. Miles rubbed off the play. He kicks it ahead, held in at the point. They go D to D. Will steps up, walked down into the slot. Shot blocked by Max. Hawks come back out, try to send this one back out front. It's intercepted. Brecken will send this one down. Will it have enough for icing? It will, and so with a line change, 8:28 left in the first period, we have a defensive zone draw after the icing call. And this one will come to Jace's right as well. Hawks win this draw. They send it down into the corner. They'll survey. Centering attempt doesn't quite make it out front. Matt battling for it in the far corner. Tony tries to chip this one out. Sends back in. That shot ends up wide. Roxon able to send this one out to Tony. Hawks take it away though, and they circle and they're back in. Near side corner. Hawks have. They chip it around behind. Matt picks this one up in the far corner, sends it up. That'll be sent back down. 2-on-0 in the slot. Sent over. Shot. Kick save. Rebound save. 2 saves there for Jace Erickson as he kicks the leg out and denies the Hawks forward on a point-blank chance. .7:12 left. That draw is won by Tony. Matt sends it to the points, intercepted. Shot on net. Glove saved by Jace, and we'll reset and do it again. So we're going to get a forward line change here. Draw one. Matt has it. On behind, sends it off the wall up to Declan's intercepted. Matt chips it at backhand again. This one goes too far for everyone. That'll cross the goal line and icing the indication. Another defensive zone draw here with 6:30 and counting for the Rails. Brecken on the defensive zone draw. He's got Gray and Declan on his wings. Miles and Max on the points. Draws one by Hermantown. They try to go back to the D. It's intercepted. Brecken unable to clear. Miles B battling for it behind the net. Good pressure from the Hawks. Takes that one away. They circle. Still have it. Centering pass to the slot. Shot. Kick save and smothered by Jace. Shot, that just fools Jace. Oh, kind of floated in over. It might have been deflected, but the backhander from the low circle off the face-off there ends up in net. Game will be tied at 1. Neutral zone draw, one back by the Hawks. They send it ahead, far side wall. Chip forward. Miles steps into that one, unable to control though, and the Hawks start back the other way. Battling for it along the wall. Puck is out of the zone. Still loose. Hawks step up into it. 2-on-1 as they come down. Shot, glove save, found and smothered. Jace knocked that one down and immediately hopped on it. We'll get a defensive zone draw for the Rails just to his left. 4:35 and counting left in the period. Draw one. Garrett steps out of the zone with it. Sends this one ahead. Rolls in on net. That'll technically count as a shot on goal from Garrett. And an offensive zone draw for the Rails here with 4:02 and counting left. Will has possession off the draw. He has it down around the circles. Shot off the shoulder. Ruck's battling for it in the corner there. He takes it away, sends it out front. That's stick aside. Hermantown collects. He'll sidestep Rucks as he comes around the corner. Long lead pass off of Matt. Hermantown into the zone. Matt recovers. Takes the puck away on the half wall. Reverses course in behind. Sends it up the wall. Overskated by Garrett. Shot deflected. Another shot. That goes on net. Stick save and collected by Jace. 3:08 and counting left in this first period, and we're going to get a defensive zone draw to Jace Erickson's right. Brecken on this draw. He's got Garrett and Will on his wings. Oh, sorry, that is not Brecken. Hawks have possession in the corner. Sent out front. Matt sends it back into the corner. He recovers it himself. Battling for it in the corner. Stops. Backhander up to Will in the circle. Will goes rink wide. Hits Garrett in stride, and they're out of the zone efficiently. Garrett down into the zone. He's got Ruxin with him. That shot sails over the net. Will be the first one on it in the half wall. Fans on a centering attempt, but does push it back in behind. Rux intercepts there. Garrett with the puck sends it back in behind to Rux. Rux battling for it still. Garrett steps up in the corner. They chip it over him. Miles chooses to retreat. Rink wide pass. Doesn't quite connect. Max inside the zone. Chips it off the wall, but not quite out. Will help that one get out. He gets that one ahead. Just misses Ruxin on the lead pass. Hawks collect to start back into the zone. Rink wide pass intercepted by Gray. Gives it back. Shot. Blocker save from Jace. Hawks try to send this one back out front. It's on the back of the net now. Wraparound attempt thwarted by Jace. Puck still loose. Puck squirts. Shot. That ends up over the net. Miles Erickson to be the first one to collect in the corner. Sidesteps one. Takes a look. Rink wide to the point. Tony able to dump this one out of the zone, but the Hawks cover up on their own blue line. Returns across the blue line. Sends it back up. The Hawks will start in 2-on-2. shot, glove save, and held on to by Jace. We got 1:16 and counting left, and we'll get a defensive zone draw. We're going to put this one to Jace's left. Draw one back by the Hawks. Shot from the point. That hits traffic out front, ends up on the near side wall. Hermantown has possession in the corner. They send it out front. That gets all the way through. Tony steps up, chips it around the pinching defender, but he is able to recover. Hawks walk off the wall with it. Shot, that misses the net. Off the corner to the near side point. That's sent back in and around. Max will be the first one on it in the far corner there. Tries to chip it ahead. Hawks intercept. They have possession in behind. Stops short side. Sends it back off the half wall. Tony the first one on it. Tries to chip it out, and that's held in as well. Tony battling forward at the point. Brecken comes in to support. Sends this one, gives it away at the top of the circle. Hermantown shovels this one in on net. Jace able to find it and cover. 12 seconds left in this first period. And another defensive zone draw here for the Rails. We're going to end the first period there. Brief intermission, and we will do a 2-minute intermission and another 25-minute running time game. All right, resetting here. We've got 30 minutes of running time on the clock, it looks like. Set to start the second and final period of this scrimmage. Opening face-off lineup looks like it's going to be Declan centering Tony and Garrett with Matt and Griff at the points. Draw one by Declan. He has possession. He'll skate into the zone with Garrett on his side. Centering attempt from the circle. Puck's loose. Kick save from the goaltender. Griff steps up, holds the zone here. Sends this one down to Declan. Declan tries to sidestep. Still has possession in the circle. Puck squirts loose. Griffin steps up. He'll jump this one down into Garrett. Garrett circles behind the net. Wraparound attempt. Thwarted. Clearing attempt. Picked up by Matt. He fires this one. Hits the post. Garrett with possession, sends it out front. Tony unable to put it on net. Declan bobbles, and the Hawks are back out. That pass just too far for the Hawks player, but he'll be the first one on it. Down into the circle, still into the slot. Passed over. Shot gets blocked. Griffin sends this off the far side wall. Tony has it there. Backhander to Garrett just between his legs, but the puck comes out of the zone. Garrett chips it ahead. He's chasing down the Hawks defender, able to knock that down. That shot deflects on net. Save from the Hawks goaltender. They'll have possession. Stretch pass gets them through the neutral ice. Blocked shot by Matt as he gets back just in time. Declan scoops that one up, turns, hits Tony just behind him, able to chip it into the zone. Hawks forced in behind their own net with good forechecking from Tony there. Griffin steps up from the point, puts the pressure on. Hawks have possession. Rink-wide pass does connect. They've got two guys at the blue line. They're in 2-on-4. That shot wired wide of the net, and it comes all the way to the near side point. Held in by the Hawks. Griffin fans on a clearing attempt. The Hawks are able to step into this one around the circle. He'll shoot in around behind the net. Still has possession on the far wall. Puck centered, but Brecken intercepts. He's out of the zone. He's got a defender on his back. Comes near side. He'll dump it in before he gets to the blue line. Puck in behind. Gray there. Skates past one. Will takes that puck away. Circles into the circle there. Backhander across the slot. Gray sends this one back into the circle. Puck loose. Will has it. Gets it down to Brecken. Brecken with a backhander. Kick save and smothered by the Hawks goaltender with 27, 36 and counting left in this second and final period. Brecken wins this one over to Gray in the corner. Gray sends this back to Miles at the point. He does hold. This shot partially blocked, sticked into the corner by the Hawks goaltender. Gray puts pressure on there as they try to clear. Miles steps up again, dumps this back down into the corner. Brecken will chase it in the far side. Sends this up to the point. Max not quite able to corral it. Comes out. He goes D to D to Miles. Miles gives it away though, and the Hawks will start into the zone. They're 1-on-2. Shot scored. I think that quick shot just fooled Jace. He didn't quite track that one towards the net, and the Hawks have their first lead of the game, making it 2-1. Ruxin centering Tony and Garrett here. One by the Hawks. Puck squirts into the zone though. Tony giving chase. He'll chase this one down in behind. Puck sent up. Matt chips, pinches to the half wall. He has possession. Sends it down into the corner. He'll chase it himself. Puck's taken away from him. It's in the corner. Rux was covering the point there. His shot goes wide of the net. Garrett, the first one on it down here. He chips it around the defender in behind. Tony picks that one up. Sends it back to Garrett. That was a nifty little backhand pass, but Garrett couldn't corral. The Hawks take it away. They go rink wide, and they are into the zone. Matt will take this one as it's chipped into the corner. Sends it back up the wall. Tony able to tip it past the defender, but it's held in. Hawks have this one. Puck's loose. Ruxel skated around behind his own net as he regroups. Off the wall, held in at the point. Hawks have it down, centered into the circle. Matt takes this one away and forces it into the corner. Chips that one away. Garrett skates into it. Garrett out of the zone. He's got two on the other side. Off of Rux into Tony. Tony drop pass to Rux. Rux fires. That hits the defender and then squirts into the corner. Hawks pick this one up. They chip it ahead. Too far for the teammate. Griff goes D to D. Miles Erickson sends that one ahead. It's out of the zone, back in offsides, and we'll get a neutral zone draw here with 24:54 and counting left in the second and final scrimmage period. Josh shoved it into the rails, and Miles circles with it. He stops below the goal line, sends it ahead. That's intercepted at the point. Dumped back into the corner. Miles will collect in behind. Miles loses the puck there, comes around, wraparound shot, scores. Jace was unable to get to the far side, near side post. And the Hawks have extended their lead to 2. Score now 3-1. Declan takes this one. He's got Gray and Will on his wings. Miles and Max at the points. Hawks have possession. They come rink wide. The puck hit that pass hits its mark. Down into the circle. A shot. Kick save. Puck loose. Cleared by Gray. Hawks have possession. They circle. Come around behind the net. Hawks have possession in the bottom of the circle there. Battling for it. Miles with pressure. Centering attempts. Thwarted by Declan. He loses possession as he trips. They go D to D. Dances around one, tries to send it back down to the near side circle. That shot hits the side of the net. Hawks still have possession in behind. Dances around one. Centering attempt gets thwarted by Miles. Puck does end up back at the far point. Sent back down again. Puck loose. They'll circle, stop, come back near side. Puck gets pushed back to the top of the circle. Shot, glove, knocked down. Rebound ends up in the corner. Around here, that shot goes off a skate wide of the net. Hawks are circling. That shot ends up the back of the net. Gray now has it. It's tipped by Will and out on the clearing attempt. Rails will look to change. Declan will put the pressure on while his teammates behind him complete the change. Puck too far. Miles picks this one up. Sidesteps one. Declan picks it up. Declan into the zone. Unable to corral, though. Matt has possession. He's battling. Waits till everybody get on sides. Steps into the zone. Offside's the indication as he gets bumped into. Draw one by the Hawks. Sent rink wide. Puck in behind the Rails defense. Centering attempt taken away by Matt. He circles behind the net. Fans on a clearing attempt. The Hawks take it away. They have possession in behind. Sent out front, far side circle. Matt steps into that one and takes it away. Matt chips it off the wall, gets it to Garrett. Garrett's into the zone on sides. He shoots this one in on net, stick save. Poke to the corner before Tony can get to it. Tony tries to center, that's taken away. The Hawks start back out. They are 2-on-0 as they get to the blue line. Matt trying to get back in time. Pass just misses on that 2-on-0. Matt picks that up, dumps it off the wall. Icing waved off. Hawks are forced to play it. Puck taken away in the bottom circle. Garrett shoots. That misses the net. Hawks pick this one up on the half wall. Griffin steps up. Unsuccessful. Miles picks this one up in his own zone, circles, and starts back out again. Miles upended as he stepped across the red line. No call there. Hawks have possession, and they're into the zone. Around Rux, 1-on-0, and he scores. Forehand, backhand, top shelf. The lack of a tripping call results in a goal for the Hawks. Rux with possession off the draw. He stumbles. Will picks up the puck. He gets shoved down. Rux picks it up again. Loses possession as Gray dumps it into the zone. Gray knocks down a centering attempt. Tries to put this through the slot. Nobody home. Stretch pass intercepted by Miles. He steps up into the zone. He's challenged at the blue line. Loses possession, and the Hawks are back the other way. 1-on-0. We got a breakaway. Shot. Smothered. Stopped and smothered by Jace. 19:47 and counting left in this second period. And we'll get a defensive zone draw for the Rails. Ruxin at the point. He's got Will and Gray on his wings. Miles and Max at the points. Will pressure on the defenseman there. Able to get it almost out. Puck does finally square it loose, but the Hawks have possession. Rink wide pass puts them into the zone. Tipped back out by Miles. Rux covers up for Miles as he steps out of the zone. He's going to circle in behind his own net. Stops, comes back near side. Up to Miles on the half wall. Miles is the backhander that doesn't quite clear. The puck squirts into the circle. Down into the bottom of the circle. Shoulder save from Jace on that shot. Ruxton escapes the zone here with the puck. Just over skates as he's met by a Hawk defender. Centering attempt taken away by Miles. He chips this ahead off of Ruxton's skate. Tony chasing it down. Forces the Hawk defender around behind his own net. Hawks still have it through neutral ice into the zone. He's spun around as he enters the zone. Garrett with the puck there. Shipped ahead, taken away at the point. They'll step down into the circle. Puck loose in the bottom of the circle. Hawks will pick it up. Back to the point here. Sent back down into the corner. Hawks behind the net. Send it back up. Playing catch behind the net there. Declan trying to knock his guy off the puck. Garrett able to chip that around the pinching defender and get it out of the zone. Tony with pressure on there forces the turnover to Declan. Declan centers. That's taken away. Puck center on the far side corner. Max holds it in at the point. Garrett helping him there. Gets it back to Max. To Declan. Puck squirts loose. Hawks have possession there. Miles waits for his team to get on sides, and then he does step up into the zone. He's with Declan. Declan down into the circle, loses possession, but Miles steps into it. Now Declan from the circle, centers, nobody there. Miles from the shot from Garrett on that centering pass from Miles from the goal line. Hawks goaltender able to put a pad and a stick on it and finally covers up with the glove. 17-14 and counting left in this second period. Rails with an offensive zone draw here, currently trailing 4-1. Brecken fans on the face-off attempt. Hawks have possession in their own corner. Sent ahead, shipped out of the zone. Griffin down to a knee, able to knock the puck loose. Shot ends up off the base of the net. Matt collects through the circle, rink wide. Off of Gray, Brecken picks up the loose puck, tries to send it ahead, hits Gray in the back of the leg again. Griff steps up, sends this one towards the zone, but it's dumped in by the Hawks. Will, the first one on it, circles behind the net. Far side wall, chipped ahead, intercepted, down into the circle. Hawks still have possession, they'll circle back far side. Into the circle again, that shot gets deflected into the corner. Puck loose, Matt able to chip it into the near side corner. The Hawks have possession once more. They circle, center, knocked away. Griffin has it there, sends it ahead. It's held in at the point and dumped right back in. Centering attempt off the back of the net. Jace finds it and he'll just cover before anything can happen. 15:43 and counting left in the second period. Got Ruxin, Garrett, and Tony as the forwards. Miles and Max on D. Hawks have possession down into the corner. Centers. Around behind. Ooh, the wraparound attempt is kicked out by Jace. Miles tries to send this ahead on the backhand. Still battling for it on the half wall. He's crunched. This is chipped high off the glass. It's held in temporarily, but Garrett takes it away, and they're 2-on-1 as they hustle. Garrett down into the circle. His shot, his centering attempt is off a skate, and the Hawks start back. He splits 2D down into the far side circle. Shoots. That's a shoulder save from Jace. Puck squirting loose. Max will pick this one up in the corner. He dumps it off the wall. Will it make it all the way? Icing waved off as the Hawks get there in time. Chipped out high off the glass. Still in the zone. Clearing attempt knocked down by Ruxin, but the Hawks have possession. Down into the slot. Shot. Blocker save. Puck still loose. Rebound. Found and covered by Jace. We've got 14-14 left here in the second period. Draw one back by the Hawks. Puck at the point. Poke checked away by Declan. He's thwarted as he tries to get away, but Gray steps up and dumps it into the zone. Puck down into the corner there, center on the far side. Max steps up at the blue line, holds it in. Declan has it now. Declan down circle. Will unable to get there in time. Max steps up at the point once more. He holds it in temporarily, but the Hawks are back out. 3-on-1, 4-on-1 as they cross the blue line. Shot pushed wide. Max battling for it, able to get it to Will. Will chips it out of the zone. He'll give chase. Hawks chip it back up the boards, back into the zone, or Max will be forced to play it. Miles in behind in the near side corner. Stops, sidesteps one. Still has possession down in the corner. Sends this one past everyone. That'll miss the net. Will end up being icing. 13 minutes left in the second period, and we'll get a defensive zone draw for the Rails just to Chase's right. Draw one back by the Hawks. Shot right off the draw. Matt knocks this one behind the net. He collects. A little bit of a move. Loses possession. The Hawks have it. Centering attempt. Too hot to handle. Garrett, the first one on the near side wall. He steps up. He's out of the zone. But he loses possession on that pressure there, and the Hawks start back in. This shot just under the glove. Scores. Jace couldn't quite find that one. And the Hawks extend their lead to 5-1. 12 minutes and counting left here in this second period. We got a neutral zone draw. Brecken wins this one over to Garrett. Garrett steps into the zone. Brown down to the bottom of the circle. Shot off the shoulder and over. Tony unable to corral at the half wall. Matt steps up, dumps it around one. Puck loose. Matt steps into it. He's into the slot. His shot. Loose. Garrett the rebound. Puts it into the glove. What looked like a sure goal was thwarted by the Hawks goaltender as offensive zone draw here taken by Rux. He's got playing 5-on-4. Draw one back. Miles hits a body. Will in the corner. Centers. Tipped by Rux. Puck loose. Rebound. Second one just pushed wide. Two good attempts there. One from Gray, two from Gray. First one off the pad. Second one pushed wide. Will to Miles. Miles shoots. Gloved and held onto by the Hawks goaltender. I think we're simulating a penalty kill here for the Hawks as they are up 5-1. Ruxin on the draw here. It's won by the Hawks. Forced in behind the net. Gray puts pressure on in the corner. They step up. Miles unable to hold. Icing is indicator. No icing because it's a penalty kill. Jace plays it over to Max, who chips it in back behind the net. He'll circle, loses possession. Max sends it to the near side wall. Ruxin the first one on it, steps up, gets the puck out of the zone. Gray with a good poke check, knocks the puck loose, but the Hawks have it. Miles battling for it in the slot. He'll circle near side. Backhander flips up and out. Sent back in by the Hawks, wide of the net. Garrett out of the zone with it now. He goes far side wall, down into the corner. He takes a look as he circles behind the net. Centers, that goes off the goaltender. Rux was pushed up against the crossbar as he crashed the net. We're going to get wholesale line change here for the Rails and an offensive zone draw to the Hawks left. 8:35 and counting left. Declan won that one, but it's taken away. Griffin holds the point temporarily, but then the Hawks are back out. 3-on-2 as they enter the zone, down around the bottom of the circle. Tries to wrap around. That puck goes off the side of the net. Jace covers before they can cause any damage. Offensive zone draw. One over to Matt at the wall. Matt able to get it out of the zone. It's cross-checked. He's able to get it into the zone. Garrett battling for it there. He's got possession. Declan steps into that one. He stops, comes back the other way. Backhander goes off the goaltender's pad as he scrambles back. Puck chipped up ahead. Matt corrals it. He'll send this one in on net. That puck's loose. Squirts to the corner where Garrett picks it up. Garrett circles in the circle there. Back down to Declan behind the net. Sends it out front. Not quite close enough for Tony. Ends up in the corner. Hawks trying to force it out. Griff steps up. He's able to hold it in. Gets it to Tony. Tony knocks it down into the corner. Tony will center. That goes off a stick in behind. Garrett now has possession. Garrett circles. Backhander. Tipped and just misses Matt. Hawks are 3 wide as they exit the zone. They try to regroup and neutralize. Hawks have possession on the near side wall. They'll dump it down. Icing the indicator. And we'll get a line change in offensive zone draw with 6:42 and counting left in the second period. Score remains 5-1. Hawks working on penalty kill work, it looks like. So now we're going to switch, and Proctor will go on the penalty kill. And the Hawks have a power play. Breakaway shot, flips right over the pad. Chase misses it, and that goes in for another goal for the Hawks. They extend their lead to 5 as they are up 6-1. Hawks have possession off the draw. They circle in their own end, start back. Centers, that goes all the way to the far side point, squirts loose, and then it's out of the zone. Hawks back on sides, get back into the zone. Gone to the circle, glove save from Jace on that shot. Max has it into the circle, pushes it ahead, it's intercepted by the Hawks and sent back. In behind the net, Hawks still have possession, they circle. Let's come back up to the point. Back down to the circle. Try to go rink wide to the far D-band. And Brecken will send it all the way down. That was off a defenseman's skate. Puck stops before he gets to the red line anyways. Declan takes this one away, unable to muscle his way into the puck. Then Ruxin steps into it. Rux with a shot from the circle, misses the net. Miles will step up from the point down into the corner. He overskates it though, and the Hawks start back the other way. That pass just too far, icing the indication, and that is the call we get. 4:24 and counting left in the second period. Icing for the Hawks and an offensive zone draw for the Rails. We are still in a penalty kill posture. We've got Ruxin and Declan at forward, and Griffin Matt. This is one back by Ruxin. Griffin puts this one towards the net. Ruxin tips it just wide. Ruxin battling for it in the corner, gets it to Matt at the half wall. Matt tries to chip it around the forechecker, but the Hawks are back out of the zone. Down into the zone around the near side corner. He'll stop and survey. Griffin puts pressure on there, takes the puck away. Declan skates into it around the far side circle. Out of the zone efficiently. Ruxin gets through another one. He's bumped off the puck. Hawks have it down near side circle. Centering attempt does connect. Shot, save. Puck loose in the low slot. Another shot, saved and held onto by Jace as he had hugged the post on that one and found it with his body and covered it. 3:10 and counting left. Draw one back by the Hawks. They try to go far side circle. They do. Squared up, centered. Shot saved by Jace. Back up to the point. It's held in, sent back into the corner by the Hawks. Max skates into this one. Sends it over to Miles. Just too hot for him. Miles with possession on the half wall here. Skates around 1-4 checker, but loses the puck. Hawks in behind, around, Bogle, all the way up to the point on the far side. D to D. Steps into the circle. He takes all the ice given to him. Shot, tipped, saved by Jace. He hangs on. 2:11 and counting left in the second period. Hawks have possession after the draw, but it's knocked away by Gray. Garrett able to tip it past. Hawks will skate back into it, circle in their own end. Stretch pass gets them up into neutral ice. Miles almost takes that one away. Tony sends it into the wall. Sorry, that's Rux. Hawks send it around, far side corner. Max battling for it there. Hawks still have possession. Rux will skate into it in the far corner there. He sends it off the wall. It's out of the zone. Garrett putting pressure on in neutral ice. Puck loose. Max steps up. Tries to go rink wide. Bounces off a couple of skates. Puck still loose. Rux over to Tony into the zone. Tony into the near side circle. He shoots. Stick save. Puck goes to the corner. Hawks have it. They're out of their own zone. Down the near side. Into the circle. Offside's the call. Offside's the call. We'll get a line change. 48 seconds left in this final period here. Hawks have possession off the draw. Sent back out by Will. Tony tries to sidestep the defender. Unsuccessful. And the Hawks start back in. Matt in the circle kicks that one away. He steps up, able to chip it out of the zone. He'll give chase. Puts pressure on. Able to get it down. Hawks goaltender covers, sensing trouble. Matt was off to the races had he not fallen down on that play. With 10 seconds left. And that's going to end the scrimmage. Six to 1 the final score here. Rails falling to the Hawks in a 2-period scrimmage. 55 total minutes played, running time.